What is up, y'all? It's Alanis and welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title of today's video, we are going to be talking about 20 things I wish I knew in my early 20s. Now, some of my credentials are I'm a big sister, I will be 25 in a couple months, and bonus point, I'm a mom. A lot has happened from the age of 20 to 25, so I really just want to talk about that and be your older sister. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below so you can become a part of my family. I am trying to post weekly content. I need some content ideas, so don't be afraid to comment down below what videos you want to see. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, and let's proceed on with the video. Oh my god, my sister's here. Why would you park right behind me? Seriously? What is that? What is it? Oh, I was just cussing you out. Really? That's cute, thank you. First lesson is you're just an infant in adulthood. This is something that I wish I knew a lot earlier than I found out, but I basically saw a video that it said, you just entered adulthood, so if you're 22, you're just a 2-year-old adult. And that couldn't be any more true. You're still a baby. I know you're like,
oh, I'm 20 and nobody can really tell me what to do.
Because I've been that way since I was 2 years old. But nonetheless, we really don't know anything. I still don't know anything. I still don't know what's going on in my life. I still don't know what I want to do with my life. So it's like, I'm only a 4.5-year-old adult. I've only been an adult for 4.5 years. Like, that's literally it. And if you think about it in that perspective, would you pressure a 4-year-old to know how to recite the freaking encyclopedia? No, you wouldn't. So just don't be so hard on yourself. Like, so if you're freshly 20, you are fresh out of the child womb and you are now blossoming into adulthood. You're now about to learn everything new. So don't be so hard on yourself. The second thing I wish I knew is that success is very subjective. Now, I don't know about you, but I come from a Caribbean household, and my father, he wasn't an immigrant, but he wasn't born or raised in this country, and he came to this country with hopes for his children to be better than him and have a better life and, you know, go to college at it. Y'all already know the spiel. If you have Caribbean parents, you know they either wanted you to be a doctor, a surgeon, or a lawyer. Like, it was either always a lawyer or a doctor. Like, they always wanted you to be one of the two. So coming from that background, it can feel like a lot of pressure. But other than that, as long as you're trying your best every day, success is very subjective. Like, I feel like I'm very successful as a mother. Nobody can tell me different. I'm a very good mother, and I feel like in that aspect, I'm very successful. If you want to open up a bakery shop and you feel like that is the peak of success for you, don't let anybody tell you that you're not successful because you're not on yachts like these 20-year-old girls on TikTok. Well, let me tell you something about them 20-year-old girls on TikTok that are on them yachts in Dubai.
They be sounding a little sun.
You know what I'm saying? So don't no, but I'm being so serious. Like, do not compare yourself to people online, and success is very, very, very subjective. Branching off of that topic, the next topic I want to get into is that comparison is the biggest thief of joy. I know, like I said, seeing those girls, they're in Dubai, they're getting brand deals, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing that, doesn't mean that your life isn't any good. If you're looking at social media through a negative viewpoint, of course social media is going to be a negative thing for you. But if it's all about intention, honestly, it's all about your heart posture and your intention with everything you do, which is another topic that's coming on later in the video. Even not social media, if you have your cousin that at 22, she was already moved out, she found her fiance, and that is okay because that is her life. It's okay that other people did things before you. It's okay that your older sister moved out at, this is for my little sister. It's okay that your older sister moved out at 20 years old and you're still in the house at 20 years old. If I could have it my way, I would have stayed in my house until now, until I was 26, 27 years old. It would have saved me a lot of money, a lot of stress, and a lot of heartbreak. So I say all that to say this, just don't compare yourself to the next person because everybody's life path is different. Find the beauty in the now. Everything is a process, and everything that you're going through is to get you to where you need to be. You just have to keep focused on God and keep God at the center of everything, which is also another topic later on in this video. Why am I jumping? That's my problem. I yap too much. This next topic has two audiences. So let me just introduce the topic. It is decentering men. Now, this can go for the girlies who are single and just love the male validation, or this can go for the girls who are in a relationship and you just seek your partner's validation and they can control everything in your life. So first, we're gonna touch on the ladies that are single. Please understand that men are not the goal in life. I know we've all been in school and we have all been around that one girl that when a man comes around, her
voice changes, her
posture changes. All of a sudden, she's bringing up the fact that you farted yesterday. We all know that one girl. And that is a girl who centers men to the deep core. Please decenter men from your life. It is not gonna get you nowhere. There's no reason that a man should have that much power on you to be able to change your dialect, to be able to change your posture, and to be able to change the person that you are, your personality. Please decenter men. It is not worth it, I promise you. Doing all of that, they're not gonna pick you. Now, moving on to my girlies who are in a committed relationship in their early 20s. That was me. So I have a lot more that I can speak on about this topic. When it comes to decentering men in an active relationship, please don't let your significant other control your moods. I was the type of girlfriend who allowed my significant other to hold so much power over what I did that day, how I felt that day. If they woke up in a bad mood, I'm in a bad mood. If I said good morning with 2 G's and they said good morning with 1 G, I was sad, depressed for the whole day, and I just didn't want to do nothing. If we got into the slightest bit of argument, I'm mad at my mom, I'm mad at my sister, I'm mad at my dog, I'm mad at the toilet, I'm mad at the bathtub when I was upset in my relationship. And please don't do that. It is going to burn so many bridges for you. This is gonna be so embarrassing, but you know, I literally quit a job because I was going through an argument with my boyfriend at the time. I literally walked out of a job and quit. That is just a prime example. Just don't do it. And even if you're not in a relationship in your early 20s, just wait, push it off as long as possible. I promise you, men are not the goal. And even if you're one of those girls like me, I was always the girl who I wanted to be a wife. I wanted to be a mother, and I wanted that life for myself. Like, I loved that life. I wanted that life. That was one of my big goals for me, was to become a mother and a wife. Obviously, one of the two happened, but neither here nor there. That doesn't mean that you should erase those values from your chart completely. You can still want that out of life, but just don't let it be your primary focus, because it's just gonna astray you from where you need to go to meet your husband. Like, if you stay on that path of just working on you and focusing on you and not worrying about a man, God is going to place that person in your path exactly when you need them to be, exactly when he intends them to be in your path. So please, if you can take anything from me, if you can take any piece of advice from this video, let it be to decenter men from your life. Decenter men. Now moving on to lesson number 5, please prioritize your health. Now I'm about to announce something that I only told my close friends on like my Facebook and my Instagram. I don't really have much people on there, so noticeable to those people. But recently I was just diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, and I'm 80% sure that this autoimmune disease was caused by stress, a stress-induced sickness. Pretty positive, and I really wish I prioritized not only my physical health, but my mental health a lot earlier. If you are one of those people that are very ignorant to, I
don't need a therapist, I don't need to talk nothing out, I don't need to do this, I don't need to do that.
I promise you, you do. I am currently actively searching for a therapist as we speak, because there's only so much healing that you can do yourself. I'm not gonna lie to you, I healed myself a lot. Back in 2020, I'm gonna always talk about this. In 2020 was my year. I spent so much time healing my inner child. I spent so much time healing myself inside. But then there's just some things that I was not able to tap into that still affect me to this day, and those things have caused problems to this day in my life. So yes, you do need a therapist. Please prioritize your mental health. Please prioritize your health, period. There was a time even in 2020 that I was vegan. You know, I ended up losing a lot of weight. I was always on the verge of being of high cholesterol growing up, because I was always on the heavier side. As you can see, I'm a little bit hefty now. That's only because I got diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, so I was on a lot of steroids, so it got me a little bit swollen. So I'm still losing this steroid weight on top of having freshly postpartum. I was freshly postpartum. I was only 4 months postpartum when all of this happened. I was actually very healthy. I lost a lot of weight because of being vegan. I was prioritizing my health. I was the healthiest I've probably ever been. I felt like I felt like I was literally floating on air. It was such an amazing feeling, and you know, I ended up getting pregnant, you know, whatever. Nonetheless, please, I wish I would have prioritized my health before that. I wish I would have prioritized my health even as a kid. I wish I would have prioritized my health in high school. If I probably would have been healthier earlier, I probably could have avoided everything that's going on with me now. If you feel like you really need to go see a therapist, please go see a therapist, please. And please focus on your health. My entire life changed once I was diagnosed with that. Like, a lot of things are harder. Like, life is harder, and I'm only 24 and a half years old. And not only that, I probably would have never known any of this if I didn't go see a doctor. Please go see a doctor. Please go get your checkups. Please, as a woman, go get a pap smear. Like, you really need to prioritize your health. You need to catch things when you catch them, because if not, they can linger on later down the line. You might have something that you haven't discovered, and by the time you discover it, it's really bad. So please prioritize your health. Like, it's the best thing that you could possibly do for yourself. Moving on to topic number 6, try new hobbies, even if it doesn't resonate with you. Personally, this is one thing I did not struggle with, but this is one thing, if this is a piece of advice that I can give to any girl in their 20s, do it, girl. Do it. I was a nail tech, an esthetician, child. I waxed, I painted, I drew. I was vegan, I was a lifeguard. What else did I do? I literally did everything. I worked at a salon. I worked at multiple salons. I actually went to school, and please try new hobbies, because you never know. You literally never know what's gonna make you feel good and what's gonna spark your interest and maybe have a completely life-changing experience for you, and it can completely change your life, period. You could probably stick to that for the rest of your life. You have no clue what that new hobby is gonna do for you or what doors it can open for you. So please, like, you're so young. Don't be committed to one thing and be like, yeah, I'm gonna put all my energy into this because this is what I wanna be. This is who I wanna what. I love the fact that I'm an all-over girly. I indulged in everything, and honestly, for all the people who made fun of me because of it or talked down on me for job hopping and, oh, you were at that job for what, 2 months, or oh, that was the longest you were at that job, I'm glad I did it. I had no commitments then. I had no commitments. I had no priorities. I had no responsibilities, and I was able to discover myself, discover amazing people. I was able to just live my life and do what I wanted. My lifeguard job, that was probably the best job I've ever had in my life. That was so fun. It was so liberating. And then, COVID happened, whatever. And when I was a nail tech, when I lived in Georgia, I moved to Georgia. Like, when I lived in Georgia, I met some of the most amazing people that are still in my life to this day, and I'm in contact with them to this day. Shout out to Ben, shout out to Jason, shout out to Chills, shout out to Gabs, shout out to Annie, shout out to Cindy. Shout out to all of y'all. I literally love you guys so much. I met those amazing people. Like, if I didn't branch out and be like, you know what, I want to do this, and I started working at a salon, I would have never met those people. They've impacted my life in such great ways. They were there for me through so much. I literally found friendship in them. Like, I've never had friendship. I've never had a group of people that I can call like, oh, these are like my people. I love that community so much. Like, if I move back to Georgia, it's because of them. I love that. That's just a prime example of you never know what you can encounter. And here's a little subtopic of that. Not all of your hobbies have to bring in income. I really genuinely wanted to be a nail technician, so I found a job in that, and that actually lasted me for like 3 years, up until I gave birth. Not only that, like, working out, I didn't have to make that a job. I was obsessed with it. That was one of my favorite hobbies. I was working out. I was in the gym for hours. I didn't have to make it into a job. I started drawing in 2020. I didn't have to make no profit off of it. And again, coming from a Caribbean household, they see that you're good at something, all of a sudden you
need to go have a profession in that. Like,
no, I don't want to be a professional drawer. I know how to do hair. Like, I don't want to be a hairstylist. Like, it's okay. But case in point, please try a new hobby. I actually want to get, my new hobby I want to get into is roller skating. I just got into the new hobby of walking. Hello? And walking is gonna eventually turn into running. Indulge in your hobbies. You never know where it's gonna get you. You never know where it's gonna take you. And you never know the people you're going to meet along the way. Topic number 7 is keep God at the center of your life. I know with the internet, and I don't even want to get into that topic. Well, not that, obviously I'm going to get into that topic, but I don't want to dive too deep into that topic on this video, because that can be honestly a whole nother separate video. But in my early 20s, I really went astray from God. I was trying out new things, along with those other hobbies that I was trying. And although it felt good in the moment, honestly, nothing feels better than the presence of God and the glory of God. Nothing feels greater than the love of God. This was gonna be really short because I don't want to. So if you're listening to this and you needed that message, just keep God in the center of everything you do, and He will never fail you. It can be really hard to keep God in the center of your life, especially with outside influences and just with social media in general. But please try to surround yourself with God-loving people and try to keep God in the center of your life. Let's move on to the next topic. It is okay to outgrow people, places, and things. Like I said in the beginning, you're still an infant in adulthood. If something doesn't resonate with you anymore, it's okay to let it go. Doesn't mean that there's beef, doesn't mean that you hate that person, you hate that thing. It's just it no longer resonates with the person that you are starting to become, and it is okay to let it go. Not everybody is supposed to enter the next chapter of your life with you, and that is something that I really wish I knew in my early 20s. I feel like I personalized everything, and I think that's honestly another topic. If not, don't take everything personal. Like, everything's not personal. If you feel like your hometown has served you justice and it's time for you to leave, you're not 18 years old anymore. It's okay if Fulani is not rubbing you the right way. They're going out, they're partying all the time, and you're like, I really want to focus on my career. It's okay to let Fulani go. Fulani gotta go. Because Fulani is gonna let you meet Lan Lan, and Lan Lan is gonna lead you closer to your higher self, closer to God, closer to your life path. You know, it's gonna hurt. Obviously, we're human beings, and we still live in a flesh body, and we still have feelings, so it's going to hurt, but just know that it's for the greater good. And if you feel deep down in your soul that that person is not meant to be in your life anymore, or if you feel like this place isn't serving you anymore, or if you feel like what you're doing isn't serving you anymore, for your greater good, let it go. Topic number 9 is actually something that I just touched on earlier, and it is about therapy. I really want to go in depth about it a little more. Like I said before, you can only heal yourself so much. You want to be a better person in general, just please go to therapy. I really am excited to start therapy. I'm really excited about this journey. I haven't seen a therapist since I was like 16, and even then I was one of those
I'm not telling them everything.
And then 5 seconds later, like, I'm crying, spilling out all of my freaking deepest, darkest secrets. But it's like, I was so ignorant to the fact that, like, oh, I don't need therapy. Like, I can do it all on my own. I don't need somebody to tell me how to feel. And I was like, I have God. I can lean on God. And yes, lean on God. Yes, keep God at the center of everything. That is a tool that God has placed in your path to help you grow and be a better person. Let's make it a goal this year to see a therapist, and let's change our lives for the greater good. That leads me to my second topic. This is something that I needed to learn, and I need to go to therapy to master it, and that is be your biggest advocate. I have never been so invalidated in my life when it came to my health, and if it wasn't for me advocating for myself in that hospital, I would have never gotten seen, and things probably would have been so much worse than they are now. But because I was my biggest advocate and I was like, no, I need this, I need that, I need this, I was able to get the ball rolling and get things done for myself. I know it is so scary, especially if you're anything like me. I have very extreme social anxiety. Like, I literally freeze in place. When I'm anxious in social spaces, I literally freeze. Once people see that you don't play about yourself, oh, they're not gonna play about you either. Once people see that, oh, this girl means business, oh, they're gonna mean business with you. Once they see that you're not letting up, they're gonna let up. I can go back and tell this to my every age self. Like, if I can tell this to my 6-year-old self, 10-year-old self, 12-year-old self, 13-year-old self, it is in your best interest to just be your biggest advocate. This topic makes me a little bit emotional because I'm still in the process of finding mine. Fellowship is so important. This is something... Growing up, as far as I can remember, I've had friends, yeah, I've had little friend groups here and there, but I've never had somebody who was there for me, my actual community, that wasn't obviously other than my family. I've never really had a friend group that I can be like, hey, let's go out this weekend, or let's go for, you know, brunch, or let's meet up here. And I didn't realize after giving birth to my daughter, I was truly alone, and I did all of that really by myself. If I went through postpartum alone, and in that moment is when I realized that I really need a community. Fellowship is so important, and it's more important than it's ever been in my life. Now that I'm in my mid-20s, I crave it. I pray for it every single day. God, you hear me? And it's on my vision board, and I really, hopefully this year I can find my community and be with people who love me and who won't give up on me. I really want that fellowship for myself. So I just pray, and I have a feeling God is gonna give it to me this year. I really want to join a church very soon. I just want to look at my options. I always used to be the kind of girl, I don't need friends, I don't need nobody, I got myself. No, baby, you need people, you need friends, you need family, you need people around you. You cannot do life on your own. It really takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise yourself. It takes a village for everything that you do. Moving on to topic number 12, and that is your best looks different every single day. If today you wake up and you're like, I can only give 50%. That's the best that I can do. It is okay. Your best is gonna look different every single day. Not every day is gonna be 100% you. What's crazy is I feel like people should really understand that, because hello, we're all human beings, but unfortunately most humans operate on like a robot. It's giving AI. It's like, are you even human? Most people lack a lot of empathy, for one, so they feel like you're lazy or you're this or you're that. Just know that your best looks different every day. It is okay to give yourself a day of rest. Yesterday, oh baby, I was in bed all day with my kid and I did not feel bad about it, because that was my best. I was going through a lot and that is what I could do that day, and it is okay. But as long as you're doing your best to show up, don't let anybody make you feel bad, because you're trying your best. This next topic, if I can go back and grab my younger me by the neck and tell her this to her face, let go of your expectations for other people. Just because you would do something differently doesn't mean that that's how that person operates. You're going to crash so hard in life if you live your life always being like, oh, but why didn't they do that? Why would they do it like that? Why wouldn't they do it like this? Once you let go of why somebody didn't do something the way they did it, or why somebody did something to you that you like, oh, I would never do that to somebody else. There's a lot of people in my life like, oh, I expected you to be better. I expected you to be different. I kind of held on / hold on, because I'm still trying to work on this, to what other people can be or how I feel like they should be. And I need to start seeing people for how they truly are. I need to see people for how they're showing up in that moment. Yes, you're capable of being better, but you're not better. You're not being better. Don't create a scenario in your head like, oh, but they were like this at one point, so you know, oh, they're gonna come to me and they're gonna apologize and they're gonna do this and they're gonna hug me, and then they come home and they don't do any of that, and now you're depressed and now you're sad. Let go of your expectations of other people. Life will be so much better. And that is something that I need to learn to this day. That's something that I wish I learned earlier. That's something that I'm going to be implementing in my life from this day forward. Moving on to topic number 14. Stop chasing beauty standards. I've always been insecure about my body, my face, about really everything, until I recently lost weight and I felt like my best, and that's okay. I felt really beautiful as a skinny woman. Even then, I still had my insecurities, because I'm like, well, I'm skinny but I don't have the big butt. Beauty standards are fake, because beauty is so subjective, and even in every other country, the beauty standards are so different. So who comes up with that? Truly, like, who are we as humans to be like, yeah, that is the pinnacle of beauty? Because I promise you, like, our great grandkids, the trend will probably be, oh, noses that lean like this, oh yeah, you got money, you come from money. Like, God crafted us so uniquely and so beautifully. And if the Most High, the perfect God, the flawless God, crafted me, God literally is perfect and he made you. If the lighting changed in any way, it's because the sun is going down, so I apologize for that. Let's move on to topic number 15, and that is to be intentional with everything that you do. I could have saved myself a lot of disappointment and a lot of trouble if I went into things with better intentions. I know we've all heard somebody say, and I know we've all been victim of saying, oh, those weren't my intentions, I didn't mean for it to come off that way. And that all could have been avoided if we were intentional with what we did and we actually sat there and thought things through. Going forward in life, I do want to be more intentional with how I speak to people, how I dress, about who I'm keeping in my life. I want to be more intentional about the things that I keep in my home. I want to live my life with intention. Moving on to topic number 16. This is something that I had to learn the hard way, and that was that nothing good ever is easy. Nothing good comes easy. Perfect prime example is a baby. The birthing experience. Painful, very long, very hard. Anything can happen, but in the end, you push out that baby and you have the most perfect little piece of nugget sitting on your chest looking like a little frog. God sat there and promised you something. Don't sit there and just wait for that promise to come true. You actively have to be working towards that, and it's gonna be hard. There's gonna be trials, there's gonna be tribulations, but if it is a part of God's promise, every trial and tribulation is going to lead you exactly where you need to be. Moving on to topic number 17, is that is motivation is not enough. You need discipline. You need to be held accountable. For example, when I was on my weight loss journey, or not even weight loss journey, when I was on my health journey, not say weight loss, because I wasn't even going into that with the intentions of losing weight. I just wanted to be healthier. Mind you, a little backstory is I used to hate working out. So when I started my health journey, Again, I went in with the intentions of wanting better for my health. There was times where I cried through it, but I still did it. And motivation is not enough to get you to where you're going. You need the dedication and you need the discipline. Now going on to the next topic, which is stop taking things so personal. Cheese and rice. If I can go back and tell my younger self this, tell myself this now to this day, I'm still working on it and I'm trying. I'm truly trying. They're not telling you that to attack your character. They're telling you that because they truly want better for you. How do you expect yourself to grow in life? You can't even take good criticism. I can't really think of the word right now, but you can't really take the good criticism with a grain of salt and understand that they're only telling you that for your well-being. Not everything is a personal attack on you. And that leads me to my next topic. How they treat you is an example of their character and not yours. So it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. I always struggled
as a people pleaser.
As a fellow people pleaser, I always felt some type of way like, why are they doing that to me? They're treating you that way. They're pushing you off because they need to deal with personal trauma. And it's not you. It could be you. Don't get me wrong, it could be you. Let's go and reflect now. Let's not jump the bullet. But most of the time, why are you yelling at me when I just asked you if you can pick that up for me? Why are you yelling at me? I did nothing wrong to you. It's because you're angry. Because of something that happened to you outside of here. You're not yelling at me because of anything I did. You're yelling at me because of something that happened to you earlier on today, which ties along and don't take things personal. A lot of people really just need to be more self-aware with how they move out throughout life and how they treat people. And last but not least, number 20, see the beauty in every single season. This might be the season where God is calling you to rest, to not do so much, to not work so hard. There's beauty in that, and that God is creating something for you in your next season that is going to be great. The season of my pregnancy was horrendous. In the first half of this season of my first year of motherhood, horrendous. But this next season of motherhood, my toddler season of motherhood, it's gonna be so amazing for me because I'm going to build that life for myself and I'm going to do that for myself. Everything that I went through before is just teaching me everything that I know to avoid now. Like J. Cole always says, there's beauty in the struggle. One quote that I live by is, nothing in life is consistent but change. And honestly, it is so true. Why am I beating myself up because things are changing when that's the entire purpose of life? We weren't brought to this earth to stay the same. Everything in life is changing constantly. The seasons change. My body is changing. I'm turning into a woman now. Not the same as I was at 18 than I am now at 24 and a half, about to be 25. I'm not even the same as I was at 25 than I was at 21. Everything is changing. Life changes. Circumstances change. So just see the beauty in everything. And remember that God is never going to do something to you, but he is going to do it for you. All right, y'all, so that about wraps it up for today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to comment down below. Let me know what your favorite part was. Comment a lesson that you wish you knew earlier down below. I would love to hear your opinions. Again, I am posting weekly content, so don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to stay tuned. I would love to have you a part of my family, and I would love for you to stay on my channel a little longer, so go ahead and watch some of my vlogs. Go ahead and watch some of my routine videos, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!